Hello there.
Hello, peoples.
And we are back from the holidays. Did you miss us? We missed you.
Welcome back to the Tammy and Wanda show for the new year of 2023.
It's
What?
What? Who knew that we would make it this far?
It's just a hobby for us, but we have fun. We hope you have fun.
I hope that you enjoy it. And of course, today, you're probably going to hear a lot of clomping.
Clicking, if you will.
Clicking.
The dogs are home, and we're at Tammy's house today instead of at the office.
Yes, we are actually in a different location. Well, our past location. I don't know.
The cool thing about podcasting, you guys, we can record from anywhere as long as we have this beautiful PC. For those of you listening, I just pointed at the laptop we're recording on. And this beautiful USB microphone. HyperX, sponsor us. We love your mic. I am going to go deal with the animals. So if Wanda would like to introduce the episode.
Oh my god, I'm doing it solo right now, guys. This is really weird. But today we are actually talking about winter flings to keep you warm. If you guys remember from one of our past episodes, for some of our dedicated listeners out there, we talked about summer flings. So, of course, why not discuss winter flings?
Oh, winter flings are sometimes the hottest fling.
I mean, it's all in the Hallmark videos.
Hallmark Christmas movies.
All them movies where it's in winter, it's during Christmas, and I mean, I guess that's when flings happen.
Well, that's what Hallmark would lead you to believe with all their historic bullshit with the whole, oh my god, it's snowing.
Or the number one thing that they always have, and it's always called for, because I don't watch Hallmark movies very often. It's my mom. I love you, Mom. But please do not watch them when I am there. Because I'm like, oh no, you mean this business mogul from this small hometown came back for Christmas, didn't really want to come back for Christmas, but did anyways. Oh no, you mean they're taking away one of the most famous things in the town?
How do we save Daddy's candy business,
Oh
even
my
though
God.
I'm a high-powered lawyer from New York?
And then, like, Jimmy Turnbog, I don't know. An old high school fling who works at the hardware store. Wait, he owns the hardware store now? I don't like him because we had a problem. But then I really like him. It's a Christmas miracle.
The ones that really piss me off as a parent are the ones where it's like, Jimmy also has this daughter that he didn't tell anybody about. And now I have to choose between my career and becoming Jimmy's wife and little Abby's stepmom.
Oh my god. It's so, like, what do these people do? Like, they're like, okay, we just changed the names on it and the town name.
I saw a meme recently on social media that was like, it had a whole bunch of engineer and scientist looking people like really studying this microscope, and it said Hallmark Writers Room coming up with a second plot for their Christmas movies.
It is. It's always something about someone who left their hometown to be better, and they're either a lawyer, a business mogul, a doctor,
some high-powered thing,
or a widow.
Oh, the widow ones really make me
mad.
Or
a widow.
Yep.
Whether you are a man or a woman, because normally they kind of dabble in both. Mm-hmm. Which, like, so, but it's so funny because, like, my mom's like, oh, that's so sweet. They're so sweet together. That's so cute. I can't believe I'm crying over this. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't.
I think we're in the minority though, because it seems like most, excuse the expression, basic white bitches in the world really enjoy a Hallmark movie, and that's cool if that's your thing. But as somebody who like really gets into stories, which we both do, it's not really our thing. I want to see something develop. Like,
yeah, I don't want to predict. Like,
yes.
oh, this is when this person is going to realize that they actually love that person.
I
My
can
mom's
handle
like, shut up.
some predictability, like,
Yeah.
but when you're basically guessing the entire plot of the whole movie by minute 7,
Yeah.
you need to just watch something else.
I know, because I'm just like, oh wait, they're in the middle of the town square.
They're falling in love.
It's gonna start snowing,
and as if you cued it to happen, down comes the really pretty asbestos-looking snow.
Fun fact: they do all those recordings in the summer, and all of that is fake snow, and all the actors and actresses have to wear all of those clothes in 90+ degree weather.
No thanks.
And I think some of them do them, record them in Canada, I think.
Well, at least it's like 70 degrees when you're wearing a winter coat.
It's nice.
Of like 90.
But still, you're just like, oh, I have to get into the Christmas mood for this movie in July. Huh.
I don't think I could do it.
No.
I don't think I could do it.
I mean, we're both actresses, but no. I'm like, no, I'll pass.
We're gonna say no to that, Bob. We're okay on that.
Well, and it's like all the Christmas movies that come out, it's almost a given. It's almost a given.
Mm-hmm.
They come home to a family problem and end up falling in love with someone that they lived in that hometown. If I went back to my hometown and found the crush that I had for this high school guy, and he still lived there, no, I would not want to get with him.
I'm sorry, once you're past like 22-ish, you shouldn't be thinking, oh, you know what? That guy I dated when I was 15. He had to have been the one.
He had to have been. Oh my God, he still lives here? Oh, he owns his own business here? He helps take care of my family when I'm not here?
They still love him now as much as they did when we dated 20 years ago. Let it go, people.
Let it go. Just let it go. And of course,
even Elsa wouldn't watch Hallmark movies.
Who?
Elsa.
No.
You said let it go. So, she would be like,
you know what? The cold didn't bother her anyway. And besides, she wouldn't marry a man that she just met.
She wouldn't kiss some rando in the snow and be like, oh,
randos.
No, love.
Randos, as I call them.
Amber Heard needs to calm down.
But yeah, and then of course you have all of those flings during New Year's.
Oh.
Because it is a...
I need someone to kiss at midnight.
It's one of those fucking traditions.
I kissed Hubs and each one of the dogs, texted one of the girls, and called the kid. That was it. And then I'm like, okay, well, that was enough of that. Bed. 12:05.
My significant other and I, we did not plan on spending time together for New Year's, but ended up doing that, but we didn't kiss until like 3 a.m.
I don't think it matters when you do it, as long as it's
it was on New Year's.
Yeah.
But I want to know who came up with that. We need to Google that.
Kissing at midnight?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Who came up with that? When did that happen? When was the first time? I want to know.
I would like to know which one is the more hot holiday to propose to your sweetheart on.
Oh my God.
Is it Christmas or is it New Year's? Because I saw like 7 proposals.
Yes.
Over that holiday couple of week hiatus we took. 7 people.
No.
Got engaged.
Like, I've had multiple people on my Facebook page or feed getting engaged on either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or a couple days before New Year's or having babies.
Yeah. And we love love on this show, but you can't put a price on real love.
I'm like, first of all, I was like, no, we're going to put a pin in this. I need to ask, are you proposing to me now because you're not going to remember just a random day?
Or
you're going to remember the 24th was when we proposed.
Well, and also, as someone who's anxious and anxiety ridden, I don't want the attention.
Mm-mm.
And you go, well, most of these holiday break proposals are in front of your entire family.
Oh, yeah.
You invite your long-term boyfriend or girlfriend over, and it's in front of an entire family.
Mm-mm.
I don't want that kind of attention. No thanks.
Like, I've never been proposed to at all. I don't know how I would react.
I wasn't good at either of them.
I feel like I would have like some type of impulse and just go, no. Yes, no, I don't know.
I don't think I answered either proposal I've received right away. And it wasn't because it wasn't an immediate yes on either one. That's not it. That wasn't the problem. It wasn't an immediate no, nothing like that. It's because I am so awkward as a person. I couldn't get the word out of my mouth. Like I hugged Hub for like
I could just imagine
20 minutes,
you.
and then he's like, "So is it a yes then?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and that's all I could get out.
I could just imagine you going, "Just shut up."
I think that was the first time. I think it was very much a, no, you're kidding, right? All right, I guess, because we were young the first time I was proposed to, so it was like a little bit different. When you're older and it's inevitable that you're going to get engaged because you're old and boring. Like it was the second time. It wasn't even, it was, I had just gotten done yelling at him on the way home. Because we work like, 35, 40 minutes away from our houses.
Yeah.
Where we work together. So the entire drive home, that whole evening he had planned for like a year and a half. The whole ride home, I was like, I don't know what I ever did to deserve the fact that you didn't propose to me on my birthday yesterday, and you're such a fucking asshole, and I hate your guts, and I don't know why you're like this, and you need to just fucking commit. Shit or get off the pot, I believe, came out of my mouth as well. And then I walk in, and he's like, why don't you sit down? And I was still pissed. You know me. I'm a Cancer. When I'm pissed, I commit to that emotion.
He's the opposite side of Cancer. Like, he's the mellow Cancer.
Yeah. I'm the emotional roller coaster Cancer. So he's like, sit down. And he proposed. And I think I was confused is probably the easiest explanation. Because
you're only doing it because I yelled at you.
I was so angry. And then he was so sweet, even though I was being such a raging bitch to him for like the whole 40-minute drive home. I was like, I think I was confused. Well, you know, you're like, hold on, I'm still mad at you, but also this is what I wanted, so I need to enjoy this moment. And luckily, I had the perfect proposal for me. It was at the first home we ever lived together.
Aw.
And it was just the two of us.
Yeah. See, so, I think that...
You got to do what's perfect for your coupling, though, because you can't, I don't like people that just go, you know what, let's do the whole ring in the champagne glass at a restaurant thing.
Nope, it's too fucking predictable. And I swear to God, if my guy does that,
you just want thought, and you want them to consider like what you would want.
Yeah, like what? No, you're inviting people that no.
I think that's why I don't like holiday proposals. I think that's why I'm so against those. Excuse me, dog. Could you play somewhere else? Thank you. Sorry about the interruption there, guys.
He wants to chime in.
Yep.
On holiday proposals as well.
Dogs don't propose to each other, so they don't understand the phenomena, you know? So playing with the toy is all we've got. And those of you watching, I just took it from him because I'm a mean pet mom. And we're recording, god damn it. I don't care if you walk, but shut up.
PETA, don't come after us. It was just a toy.
Oh, he's getting love under the surface where we're recording.
He's getting lots of love.
He's fine.
Yeah. Holiday proposals, it's too predictable. I hate it.
It's almost as bad as people that buy pets as Christmas presents.
Oh.
I don't like that either, because it's fine if it's like husband and wife doing it for each other and you've been together forever and you know that you're going to make that commitment willingly, but pets are for the rest of the pet's life. That's like a 10 to 20 year commitment. But on my soapbox. So if you're not ready and willing to keep that animal in your home for the rest of its life, don't get one.
Yeah. Don't. It's not a toy that you can throw away.
Well, and you remember when like 101 Dalmatians came out, like everybody and their brother were like trying to get their hands on a Dalmatian puppy, and then because they're high strung, I had a Dalmatian as a kid, not because of the movie, just because I knew someone that had puppies, but you know, they're difficult dogs. That's a difficult breed. It
is. It takes a strong, like they're like intermediate owner dogs.
If like, you don't do well with dogs, get a lab.
Best dog that you want is a lab. The starter dog, you know how they have it like the pet shops, like when it comes to like
color code it, like you know, like where like a stop sign or a traffic light where green is like anybody can do this.
They do on websites, like when you go on like dog websites, they show you like they categorize like the dog breeds to where
they need that.
This is a good breed for young families and young children. This is a breed that if you have a large acres to where they can run because they need running.
Also, I watched a shit ton of Caesar Milan over the last couple of weeks with my dogs.
Oh man, that will be a part of one of our other episodes.
They love this show. If you're a person that likes to leave TV shows on for your animal to watch when you're at work, Disney Plus has like all the seasons of Caesar Milan. And there's even like a few new ones for during COVID when he was treating like COVID puppies, which I thought was really interesting, the difference. Mm-hmm. But, you know, you see how couples treat dogs. And what's weird about that dynamic is, since we're talking about love, is there's always one person that's like wearing the pants in the relationship. No matter what kind of couple you are, whether it's hetero or homosexual couple, there's always the person that's in charge. That makes the decisions.
You just know.
And that's the person that needs to teach the other person how to be the disciplinarian for animals. Exactly.
Like in a relationship, you kind of know who is going to be the alpha, beta, omega, delta, whatever.
Dogs just want someone to be confident and lead them. They don't care if you're the alpha or the beta as long as you outrank them.
They're naturally pack animals. So, I mean, they need a pack to survive. They can't be single and on their own. Mm-mm. It's not how it works.
No.
Now, being as humans.
Humans, on the other hand.
Do you want to be a part of a pack?
I don't think I'm a fling kind of human, though. You know, I know we're talking about winter flings, but, you know, I don't think I was cut out for that kind of life.
I've been there. And it's like just recently, because I mean, we're coming up to a year.
Yeah.
With me and my guy, which is pretty.
That's a long time, though,
pretty
for an
insane.
Adult relationship.
For an adult relationship that, for people who decided that it's just not working out.
Neither of them are. You guys aren't marriage people, I don't think. Which
is
fine. We don't judge on the Tammy and Wanda show.
No.
You don't want to get married? Don't get married. Whatever.
But I'm a Sagittarius. I can't be chained down.
You can't tie her down.
And I swear to God, if he chains me down, it's kind of on.
Well, you'll panic.
I'll panic. I will panic and I will flee. It's fight or flight at that point. I'm like, shut up, get out.
That's what she would do. It's a yes, technically, but also shut the fuck up and go away. No.
No. Yeah, I mean, he's done the whole marriage thing before, and
I think you get jaded if you've been married more than once.
Yeah.
Well, if you're at least divorced once, let's quantify it like that, because you go through that, and it's so difficult. As someone who's been down that road myself, you know, you go from this person being like your best friend and your everything to them being a stranger. It's the weirdest thing, and it's not that you don't like them as a person anymore, because that's not it at all. But like, you used to tell this person every little waking detail of your brain,
yeah,
and now they're listening to someone else. And you're like, well, it was difficult for me because my entire adult life up until my divorce was with this person. Basically high school to almost 30, I believe.
Yeah.
And you go, well, shit. Now what do I do? Because I've gone through this big chunk of my life with this one person. Now, what's cool about my divorce is that we still enjoy each other as humans enough that we get along for the kid, because that's his dad. But there are some people that go through really rough divorces. Ours was amicable. The divorce lawyer was like, I've never seen two people be this nice to each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we both want out, and we both want to move on, and we both already started dating someone else, and we're both married to those people now, which is super cool. But
yeah,
you know, we were ready to just be over it. And the people that have to go through these like huge, elongated, awful divorces where they, you know, they're like, well, I'm taking the kids and you're an asshole and all this like traumatic bullshit. I could see how someone would never want to get married again.
Yeah. I mean that was definitely the one thing that kind of deterred me, because I'm like, okay, so growing up, and of course taking a lot of child development classes and relationship classes for you know, for families and stuff, so that I could help counsel, because that was like a part of my degree, was to help counsel, like if separations were involved. But learning at a young age, and of course I did one of my papers for my school, learning at a young age that seeing your parents have a relationship, you're like, oh, so this is what love is.
That's what it's supposed
this
to look
is
like.
what is going to build the foundation of future relationships for you.
It's the blueprint that you want to follow.
Exactly. So as a child of divorce, at a certain age, I was close to being in my tweens. I was 10 when they separated, and then I was 11 when they were officially divorced, I think. But, you know,
that's a hard age to go through that. It
is, because that magic has been, like, broken.
And it's right before you start dating.
Yes.
And stuff, so your illusion or your blueprint of love is...
So basically, my foundation has been cracked.
Yep.
And I have learned that love has a time limit. And that's kind of how I describe it. So I told my mom at a very young age, after they had gotten divorced and my dad had gotten remarried to my then stepmom, FYI, he's divorced again.
That's right. My mom's ex-husband has been married and either widowed or divorced 5
you
times.
Know.
We're all right. It's cool.
But learning that there is seeing it and believing that love has a time frame, and finding out, because I wanted to know why. And my dad's like, well, I fell out of love with her.
We don't fight during the podcast. Wanda is talking. Sorry,
I'm
guys.
like, oh, so you can just fall out of love with somebody. So that magic was broken at the age of 10.
And that's like the worst way to explain it to a kid that age too. It's
at the age of 10. It was broken.
I don't love your mom anymore. That's not what you want to hear as a female child.
Exactly.
Yikes.
So of course, after that, at a young age, I told my mom I was never going to get married. And she was like, well, you shouldn't say that. Like, I'm sure that you'll find somebody that will, you know, blow you away and stuff. And I'm like, well, I mean, you told me how you were blown away by Dad. And then look what happened. He walked out.
Yeah.
So, of course, all of my relationships, like, up till now were based on dishonesty. There was time limits. And so, of course, my foundation was severely cracked. I was very broken. So having flings was
A coping mechanism
was
almost?
a coping mechanism where I didn't feel like I was expected to be in a relationship with someone. I could just be with someone temporarily and then not worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
And
My
then,
example was so different, but also jaded in its own way. My mom has had some really rough relationships pre my father, we'll put it like that.
uh-huh.
And not that their relationship is perfect, because nobody's is.
No.
No matter how much they try to portray it on Facebook that
Yeah.
they're perfect.
Yeah.
No one's perfect, okay?
Yeah, no.
At all. Not even in my current relationship. We all have our
You have to
crosses
understand,
bear.
even the ones that look like they're perfect, they still have problems.
Those are the ones that have the most problems, where they're like
They are
bragging the most.
Yes. Every time that I see like,
Whoa.
I love this man or I love this woman, I'm like, you guys are having some problems behind that camera. Yeah, you are.
We all know one or five or whatever, but you know, I think I saw her describe her like dating history to me and how jaded and traumatic it was for her. And then she met my dad, who took on my big brother and adopted him. I don't know if that was formally or unofficially, but like that was his kid too. And then they had me, and I have this like weird princess thing where I've always been like a princess, Disney princess girl. Trust me, if you saw my curio cabinet that's like 100 feet away, you would.
Yes.
That tracks. But
it does.
I think that trope was true for me because I was a daddy's girl of a very awesome father. And so for me, I think I had the opposite problem as you, as I was expecting the perfect fairy tale ending because my dad is so awesome to me that I expect all men are going to treat me like gold and I'm going to be the queen of the house. And that's just life knocked into me that that's not actually the case.
Yep.
And it's not that the first marriage was bad, because it wasn't.
No.
But, you know, you go, that really opened my eyes to people are flawed.
Yes.
And then you go, oh shit, okay, well, I have a lot of growing up to do. And you look at that, and I think that jaded me the opposite way. Because it's like, I had to fall pretty hard when we decided to split up before I was able to really, like, commit again. Because no matter how amicable the divorce is, you still have to, like, learn a lot about yourself before you can move on to someone else.
It really does. It comes down to knowing yourself, and if you are a person who prefers to have flings,
good for you. Get it.
That just means that
be safe.
Be safe. Be
safe, girl.
Be safe. But I mean, there's.
I mean, that was your life when we met and became friends, and
I was pretty.
That's where you were, and that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I was broken.
I was the queen of telling you, whatever, just be safe.
Yeah, I mean, I was at the point where I just
don't let them stay
up.
over after, because then they're gonna get attached,
right? But yeah, when I was younger, I actually did a book report on children in divorce. And it actually had, like, there was this chart, and it said, like, older children will become the replaced parent, the absent parent.
Oh, yeah.
So they become the parent, which that's what I did. And I'm like, oh my God.
You were the older siblings, so
yeah.
that
yeah,
tracks.
so it was reigning true. And of course, the younger sibling would have separation problems. Of course, the older one would too, but not half as bad as like the youngest. And of course, my sister does have separation anxiety, so she has a very hard time accepting someone leaving.
So it follows up with the research you did. Okay.
Yes.
That's cool though.
And then, of course, with the older one, they tend to be smothering in relationships. They become more questionable of everyone's actions, relationship-wise, because I was looking at that. At a young age, I'm just like, oh my God, like this is a textbook. This is a psychologist who wrote this book. I was in 6th grade, guys.
I'm curious. Do you happen to remember... we split up, Graydon's dad and I, when he was 2.5, I think, if I remember math right.
Mm-hmm.
So we felt, because it wasn't working, that it was it was easier to just make a clean break for it, like while he was too young to remember, the fighting and stuff towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
From what I remember reading, because you always have, when you get divorced, you have to take this like childhood class to make sure that you guys can co-parent peacefully.
Yes.
And I got a lot out of that class. I'm going to be honest. I think there's a reason they do that, because you really learn a lot about
you do.
co-parenting.
You need to have that education to kind of get through.
But he's so, I mean, up until very recently, because we're hitting preteen years, and he's becoming kind of a pain in the ass. Yes. A really big pain in the ass. I think his stepmom and I would both agree to. But he was pretty well adjusted about the whole thing. Like, he would, we'd go to, let's say, Walgreens to pick up a prescription, and he'd be like, this is my birth mom, or like my biological mom. That's what he called me. This is my biological mom. And then I also have a stepmom and a stepdad and a dad, and I'm with my mom half the time and my dad half the time. And he was telling pharmacists and like strangers this when he was like kindergarten, first grade. Like, it was no big deal. Like, this is just my life. This is what I deal with. And now that he's a preteen, we're getting into that whole, he knows about divorce more so than a kid who still has married parents. So I don't know if it's just now jading him because he's starting to like girls and kind of starting to think about relationships as a whole, or if it's just because he's a preteen and he's just a pain in the ass. I don't know.
I want to say that it is just a bundle of all that.
It's a bundle of stuff.
He's just a bundle. I just know that when I was like his age, I'm like, nope, I'm never gonna. I was like one of those girls in one of those movies when they were like really young. They're just like, I will never love again.
See, he's so dramatic. He dwells on like everything.
I can't wait to see him with his first relationship. He's just gonna dwell.
Well, we already asked a girl out, and he'll probably kill me because I'm not supposed to tell people about this. Oh yeah,
that's right. Now I remember.
But she's been a friend of his since like, I think kindergarten or first grade. They've been in the same class or together in some way at school since then. And he wrote her like this little check, yes or no, if you like me. And she says, I like you as a friend, which I thought the only reason, because my mom like really got on my case because she's like, well, he's too young to be doing that because he's like just 12. And I said, yeah, but here's the thing. The girl in question, hold on one second, you guys. So the girl in question is like the sweetest girl on earth, and I knew that if she said no, that she would let him down very gently. And as you guys know, middle school girls are not nice. So that's why I let it happen, because I wanted his first, if she did say no, which she did, I wanted it to be like a decently good experience so that he didn't get so discouraged that he doesn't want to date.
I mean, that's kind of how like my mom did it. Like, she's like, okay, this guy I know is not going to be like, ew, no. But more like, oh, I'm really sad, but
and they still talk every day. And what's really funny is this girl's mom and I seem to get a school drop-off at the same time ish every day. So like when I drop him off at school, 2 days ago they were in the car in front of us.
Oh.
And they walked in together. So they're still friends. It's just she's not into, and it might be that she likes him too and is too embarrassed to admit it, or isn't ready for that.
She's probably nervous. Like, I know that I was nervous.
And she's so cute, you guys. Little blonde. He loves blonde girls.
You don't want to lose them as a friend.
Right. Well, that's what I said is, I'm like, you're allowed to be upset that she said no.
Mm-hmm.
But if you stay friends with her, this might blossom as you guys get older into a relationship where you guys can actually date in the future, but you got to stay cool about it right now.
Yes, you got to stay cool. You can't be like, yeah, remember that one time?
And you know how
that you broke up with me?
And if you're going to be
that you didn't like me then?
My opinion, if you're going to be a fling person, you have to A, be easily forgiving, and B, you cannot dwell on the past.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That's the only way that's going to work.
That's the only way that you're going to be able to get through that fling. Because, like, even people who are just like, oh, yeah, fine. I did that one time, and that was like in the beginning of going through my fling phase.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, well, he stopped texting me. What? I wonder what I did wrong.
And you panic and think you're immediately ghosted.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And then of course, then I got to the point where I was just like, you know what? It's only temporary, and I had to keep telling myself that it's temporary. It's temporary. So that no feelings can be involved in this. Yes, feelings did get involved, but eventually I got to the point where whoever I was with, I was very straightforward. Instead of being like, oh yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
It can't work any other way. If you're going to be that person that's not into a serious relationship, I think you have to be like, hey, I'm not going to catch feelings.
This is what I want. This is what is expected. If you're expecting more, then we need to have a discussion.
And it all goes back to what we always say on almost every episode is communication is key in relationships. You have to say, whether it's a friendship, whether it's your parents, whether it's a romantic relationship, your kid, you got to be very clear about what you expect.
Yeah.
You got to be clear about what's upsetting you and how it could be remedied or how they can apologize in a way that will make everything better. Because if you're not communicating well, that relationship's going to falter no matter who it is.
It's going to be rough. And like I want to say that my relationship right now is one of the best ones that I could have been in.
He's the only one I've liked that she's dated since we've been friends. So
I feel very lucky.
And when he inevitably sees this, shut up. Just because I like you doesn't mean you got to get mouthy. You know who you are.
I mean, okay, guys, here's an awe. Because, I mean, we were only supposed to be kind of like a fling, but we began to learn more about one another, that we were more compatible than we really thought.
I love that you're both December babies.
That's
the cutest thing I've
ever seen. I'm at the beginning of the month, he's at the end of the month. It's very cute.
Dave and I have, July birthdays, so I'm always like a big fan of couples that have the same month birthdays.
Right?
It's just cute to
It's
me.
very cute. So with this being our first year as a couple, I crocheted him a blanket because I like to crochet. It's my hobby. So I spent a couple of weeks on like a twin size blanket.
Oh, and it was so soft, you guys. She let me see it.
And when I gave it to him, because it was his birthday present, because his birthday's on Christmas Eve, you would have thought I gave him like gold, silver, just like a Swiss watch. He was like, this is like one of the best things that I could have gotten. Guys, it's the only thing he uses now.
Get you a man that appreciates a homemade gift. That's the lesson to the story here.
And then of course, New Year's Eve when we were spending time together, and of course we're taking things very slow because he has children. And
that's important though, I think.
Yeah. And of course with me being both of us, he doesn't know his father's side of the family. Like, he really doesn't know who his dad is.
Okay.
I'm sorry, honey. I'm throwing all of your stuff out there.
Nobody knows his name but me,
but
so we're
nobody
good.
knows. Nobody knows you. But he has a rocky family. I have a rocky family relationship and stuff. So that kind of gave us a, like, common thing. And of course we're communicated, and he was like, I don't want to tell my kids about us yet. And I'm like, okay, we'll do it at your pace. I am not in any rush.
I'm a big fan of taking your time to introduce kids.
Yes. I don't feel comfortable having kids thrown onto me, because I've had that happen to me as a child, having a step parent.
Call me mom. And what I love about Graydon's stepmom is that she has never made him call her anything other than what he's comfortable with. She's always like, you know, you could tell me what you want. You don't have to tell me anything.
Exactly.
That is the way you handle a step-parent relationship.
Yes.
You do not go, you can call me mom and your mom's terrible. You don't do that shit.
Yeah.
That's so awful.
So I'm down with that.
Mad
like
respect.
I don't want that to be.
But he communicated the
But
need.
he communicated. Yes.
He's not comfortable with that yet.
Yes. Even though I think that we're ready.
It might be time now, but when he initially had the conversation with you months ago, it made sense.
It made a whole lot of sense. So I'm giving it the year. But it's at his pace. So when we were sitting there, his kids were over and stuff, and then they went and did their own thing, and we're sitting there, and he goes, I don't want you to think that I forgot about Christmas for you. And I'm like, no, that's fine. I mean, I'm used to it because I had a relationship where he did an IOU or told my family that I'll get her a present. It's none of your business whenever I get her a present.
Oh, God. Don't ever. That's no.
Yeah, no. So he goes, I don't want you to think that I forgot about Christmas for you. So I want to help you. And that was like the only gift that I could think of. I melted. That he wants to help me as his Christmas gift.
I'm telling you, this is why I like this one, you guys. He went, you know what? I think my girlfriend, me helping her out is going to be a better present than, you know, shoes or like a purse.
Yeah. He was just like, all I could think about was,
He's thinking about your needs, not your wants, which is huge.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really cute. He that's the only blanket he uses, guys.
And fling or not, get you a guy that respects your boundaries and understands your needs.
And communicates.
Yes.
Because when I said that I get paranoid when people don't text me back because then I think that I got ghosted because I've had it happen to me so many times that he apologized a million times over.
I do that with friends where I'll go, okay, so like I had like 4 people text me Merry Christmas, and I host Christmas every year. So I'm like, I see it and
so
I'm like,
oh
oh, cute. And I set it down. Okay. And then at some point I'm thinking I'm probably going to have time to sit down and respond. Thanks. Merry Christmas to you and your family too. And then I don't. And then I'm like, oh my God, they must think I'm the worst person because I didn't at least say Merry Christmas back. Or I get to the point where like I talk so often to our other co-parents where I had a situation where we had talked a whole bunch over break about break and, you know, how that affects the schedule, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That I texted and one of them didn't get back to me. And I'm like still paranoid right now that they're angry with me, which is so stupid because they're probably just busy because life happens and we're back to school and work after the holiday.
Exactly. So he apologized.
He heard you
a million times over. And like, I didn't even say it about him. I've only said it like when people text me and then
telling
like,
stories about
when
other relationships.
Yeah. And he goes, oh my God, did you do it to me? Like, did you get paranoid about me? And I'm just like, oh, maybe a couple of times. And he's like, oh my God, no. Like, I was just like,
that's a great example for why you communicate.
Yeah, so
he understands your problem and is like trying to not give you a complex.
So now, like after we had that conversation, if he doesn't like text and he's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like I did see your text, but I got super busy. I'm texting you now," or he'll tell me, he's like, "Hey, I'm with the kids. We're hanging out. Like we did this and this and this and this. So if I don't text you, it's a little delayed. It's because I'm doing this."
And you're so lucky. He's got good kids.
He does. He has really good kids.
That's part of the problem, too, is when you're trying to, like, mesh families and you get into a relationship with someone who has terrible kids, how do you get through that? Because I don't have that problem either. They have their own issues, but, like, issues can be fixed.
Yes.
But when the kid... Let me rephrase that. My stepdaughters were both awesome people with, like, problems of their own, I guess is the way to explain that. Mm-hmm. But when they're terrible people causing problems, how do you get past that as a couple? I don't know. But we should get a therapist to come on the show. Would you guys be interested in hearing?
Would you be interested?
Relationship fixes from a therapist?
Yeah, because I mean, this is all for me having my own personal growth and me knowing that I need to be able to be by myself.
You're a space person.
I am.
And that's cool.
I'm very much a space person. I mean, it's really good that I'm with someone who asks me, like, oh, how do you like to cuddle? I'm like, well, I'm not really much of a cuddler just because,
I'm a big cuddler.
But we sit close to one another. I'll, like, loop my arm around him, and he'll even tell me when he's, like, ready to roll over and stuff. But, like, we'll cuddle, but in our own way.
Finding your own way in relationships is, like,
that's
the battle.
That's difficult.
Fling a
that
relationship.
Is very difficult.
You got to figure out your way to get
you got
to
find, yeah, you just...
Or just in and make it last if it's a relationship. But.
Yeah, like this one, I'm going to work very hard to keep this one because I'm done with flings. I'm done with crazy guys.
And honestly, I think unless you have a really fucked up and jaded dating history, I think you get to a certain age and you just kind of get sick of flings.
Yes.
I don't think they're romantic anymore once you hit like 40, maybe even 30, where you're just like, I'm sick of other people's bullshit. I don't want to have to worry about whether or not they're going to call me. That's juvenile. I don't want to have to worry about...
This makes me think of a conversation between my mom, my sister, and I. And me and my mom started laughing because, like, there's this one actress who, like, she only dates, like, 26-year-olds.
No thanks. They're
and
children
she's
at
like
that point.
she's like in her 50s.
Ugh.
And
you're giving me the willies.
I'm like, oh my God, why would someone want to do that? Have to train.
We should ask Tabby's husband, who had to train me.
have to train someone younger who is still, you know, pretty new to the dating scene.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister's like, what's the deal about that? I was like, if you date older, they already know. They already expect what they expect. The younger ones, because I've dated older, I've dated younger.
You want to do your age or up.
Yes.
That's our advice from our podcast. Stick with your age or older.
Now we're in the older group.
Because you don't want somebody... Okay, we're going to take it sexual for a second. You don't want someone who doesn't know what the fuck they're doing in bed.
Yes.
Because you've already been there, done that in your 20s, and you're fucking done with
and
that.
And they're just like, oh my God, how do you want it? And I'm like, I don't know.
Or in your teens, you know, doesn't matter. But you get to a point where you're like, I don't want to train somebody how to make me happy,
like,
whether that's sexually or in regular life.
Surprise me.
You want someone who knows what the fuck they're doing, who treats you right, that opens the doors, and does the considerate thing.
Listen, when it becomes in between the sheets, I need someone to take care of that. I already have enough to control in my life.
Yes. I'm the same way. I'm a control freak until we get there.
Like, I have so many things in my life that I need to control. I do not have the time in my head during this time to tell you, I want you to touch me here, there, everywhere.
I just want you to know what to touch and what buttons to push so that we could get...
No, I want you to figure it out.
And when you're with someone older, they already know.
They already know.
They already know.
I'm like, holy cow, what did you, huh?
Sometimes you find out there's something you like that you knew nothing about until the older guy comes in the picture.
Exactly.
And you're like, wait a minute.
But also,
that works?
Also, with the older guys, they will ask for your consent. Is this too much?
They understand, can I give you a hug?
Can I touch you there? You know, just something like that. Where
can we try this tonight?
Yes. Not the young ones who are just like, blah, 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 blah.
Let me just try this thing
and you're just like,
asking.
Whoa. Why are you trying to go for that orifice?
That's a non-entry point, young man.
Right?
No.
It is a young man.
No.
I have done that. And I'm just like, listen here, son. And he's like, I'm not a son.
I'm not your son.
I am not a boy. I'm a man.
Yes, sure you are, sweetheart.
Sure you are, dear.
Speaking of non-starters and do not pass go, we are at the end of our time today, lovely people.
Yes, we are. We gave you a little extended one, kind of a Christmas gift between us.
A post-holiday gift, if you will.
A belated Christmas present.
Belated New Year's Happy 2023, y'all.
We will see you next time.
Next time.